What's going on, silencers? And welcome back to Radio Silence, the podcast where I, your host, Cass, take and answer one of your questions, whether it's personal, political, or anything in between. So if you do enjoy the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all those fun things, and stay tuned to the end of the episode to figure out how you can submit questions for this podcast. But without any further ado, let's jump right into today's question. Now, this question comes courtesy of Pravus on my Discord, the great Pravini, grilled Pravini, actually. Pravus says, of all the legends and cryptids that exist, Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, Mothman, ghosts, etc., which do you believe is scientifically likely to exist? He goes on to explain that he believes Bigfoot is most likely to exist because a bipedal ape being able to survive what us Homo sapiens essentially did of genocide, killing most of them. It just makes logical sense, Travis says, and I happen to agree. I think that's a very straightforward way of thinking, to be entirely honest. I personally believe that that Bigfoot may exist, that Sasquatch or the Yeti, the large bipedal hominids, are likely to exist. The reason I say that is because we're still discovering hundreds of thousands of species every year. I mean, this last year alone, we discovered 60,000 species of spiders. 60,000 more little danger pincher thingies. Like, we don't need more spiders. We need a cure for cancer, which we have, but I digress. So, with all the species that we keep finding right under our noses, how far-fetched is it that there would be a smart ape, a smart hominid like us, that is capable of evading capture? That just makes sense. So I do agree with Pravini's hypothesis there. However, I don't believe that a lot of cryptids exist. The Loch Ness Monster is far-fetched. Things like that, just they're not really feasible, and unfortunately the influence of man is too ubiquitous to lend to a world where we could live with such mysteries. Now, that being said, there are several different kinds of cryptids. There are aquatic cryptids. This would be things like Moby Dick, the sea serpent, the stellar sea ape, the Selma, the Ningen, or Ningen, sorry. There's a Japanese word I butchered. The champ, cryptid whales like the white whale, the ghost whale, the Alula whale, the high-finned sperm whale, like tons of creatures like that have a propensity to exist. After that, there are the terrestrial ones. This would be things like Bigfoot and the skunk ape and the El Chupacabra and the Dover demon and Yeti, Yowie, the Zanzibar leopard, like all kinds of terrestrial creatures, bound to the earth, not particularly aquatic. Then you have the flying ones like the Jersey Devil, the Mothman, the Thunderbird. These are all cryptids that are to the skies. Condors could be among those anymore, it seems. Then you have the ones that are really out there as far as like superstition are concerned, like the Rake and Slenderman. Like, I have no reason to believe that most of those things exist, Though, if they do exist, I hope that they stay hidden for a very long time, because if human nature has taught me anything, it's that we are very quick to destroy that which we don't understand. Whether it's an ecosystem or a singular creature's existence, we will absolutely demolish it in order to gain or just stop it from gaining on us. Humans are interesting that way. All that aside, one of the things that I really hope actually exists, which is not necessarily a cryptid so much as an organization around the cryptid, it would be the SCP Foundation. Secure, Contain, Protect. It's in theory, or rather, it is hypothesized that this SCP Foundation has actually cataloged everything, all of the cryptids, and they're constantly learning about new ones, undead gods, and whole universes that are powered by clocks and all kinds of stuff. And what I really like about the SCP mythos is the idea that every single cryptid or cryptozoological thing or superstition or supernatural thing is actually all tied together. It's all part of the same universe. So, for instance, Cthulhu, the eldritch god of horror and insanity that we see in this world, according to the SCP Foundation, it's a teenage creature that has a psychosomatic effect on those around it that make them worship him, and all he wants to do is sit back, relax, and play some video games. I know it sounds stupid, but it's rather riveting. SCP-1000 is the Bigfoot in question. It's a whole race of SCPs that are extremely advanced. And when humans came into the equation, we killed off as many of them as we could. And that was that. Then there are things like the Flesh That Hates, a grotesque, tumorous mass of cancer that absolutely seeks to destroy and engulf all flesh and add to itself. Or the great god Mechanus, whose life force is as steady as an atomic clock and so powerful that it can drive cogs in its followers to replace hearts, eyes, and minds. Like, how cool is that? So to answer the question, of all of the legends and cryptids that are likely to exist, probably something like Bigfoot, a large hominid that's just evaded capture and most sightings up to this point. If it grew up alongside humans, it would know our patterns and it would know how to stay hidden. I mean, how many times have you gone walking in the woods only to be scared shitless by a turkey that jumped out from under a log that you didn't see until you were stepping over the log? Like, it's not hard to hide from people. We're the most useless creatures in existence. We don't have venom. We don't have claws. And despite what you might think, we don't hawk venom like every Karen out there. Like, we're pretty worthless. We don't change color. We don't have a defense mechanism. Sure, we can pee ourselves, but that's not particularly a deterrent. That's just marinade for whatever's going to eat us. So, evading us, not so hard. The ocean is more likely to contain life that we haven't found yet. So I'd say that a lot of the ocean-based cryptids could be real. The ghost whale, things like that. But at the same time, they're not cryptids. They're just undiscovered life. The idea of a cryptid leads one to believe that it's unnatural or supernatural. And I don't really believe in the supernatural part of things. Unnatural, sure. You have mutations. A rat comes out with bright red hair, a ginger rat. Sure, why not? Instead of red eyes, it has red fur. Why not? Mutations happen. But, well, I'm getting a little off topic here. So I believe that the hominid creatures, Bigfoot, skunk ape, the Yeti, I believe all of those can exist. I have no proof, but as Pravus said, it just makes sense. It logically makes sense. But I can play devil's advocate on that as well, that it doesn't make sense because humans are so advanced. But that would be singing praises of a species that I don't care for very much. I believe that the cryptids in the oceans would be the ones that have the biggest chance of existing. And I mean oceans, not lakes, not Loch Ness, none of that stuff. I mean the oceans. The very same oceans of which we have only explored 5% from top to bottom. And those oceans are constantly changing. So, let me know in the comments below. Which cryptids do you believe/hope exist? And maybe we'll revisit this in a future episode. But if you do want to submit a question, reach out to me at controlaltsilent@gmail.com. That's CTRLALTSILENT@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter at controlaltsilent, spelled the same way. Or put it in the comments below. Oh, and of course, join the Discord, because that's where I get most of my questions from. Thank you very much to Pravus for this excellent question today. And next episode, we're going to have a guest speaker where we talk about the most exciting human space endeavors. But always remember, there is no such thing as a stupid question or a stupid answer. The only stupid question is the one never asked, because then you remain in ignorance. And if you ask and get a wrong answer, you still learn something. But I won't keep you any longer. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you very much for watching and liking, and I'll see you in the next one.